Greetings, everybody.
Hey.
Today we've been getting a number of messages, people asking us how we are doing during this hurricane. Helene, tropical storm now, I think is what it's turned
I
to.
think so.
But we just wanted to reach out, do a live stream, and actually just talk with everybody, see how you guys are doing, but also at the same time let everyone know how things have been going on around here with our place, our family, the Yurt, and our community. Because the hurricane's definitely been affecting a lot of different people all over the place. So if you're tuning in right now to the stream, let us know in the comments where you are, what area you're in, and how you're doing. Let's see, do you want to start us off with kind of how things have been going? I think
Well, it hasn't been terrible where we are now, but like 20 miles west of us and on over all the way to Asheville has been hit a lot harder than we have. So we've pretty just much just had some rain.
Yeah.
And well, there have been some high winds, but nothing that we haven't had before.
Yeah, I would say that the rain started coming yesterday. It was raining. Some areas just nearby to us has been getting just pounded with rain, and there's been all kind of flood warnings. And we're east of Charlotte, so Charlotte has gotten pounded. One of our friends reported that some areas were evacuating people because of the flooding. So thankfully, we haven't had to deal with that, but others have. Some of our friends in Boone and the mountain areas, they've just been pounded, and
Yeah.
they've been hit. I was listening in that they've never been hit like this before.
No. So I grew up going to Boone and the mountains because my family has had a mountain house about 45 minutes from there. And I saw a video of water like at least this deep on covering the streets in Boone. And I mean, and where that's sitting, it's sitting on a hill. So that's a lot of water going through there.
Yeah. So thankfully, where we're at, our immediate area here, we haven't had any flooding. We've had some trees that kind of snapped, and we had a tent that we left up, and it got blown over and flipped over. And
so we'll see how that looks.
And just a couple little debris here scattered here and there, but yeah, overall we're doing fine. We have not lost any power through the storm. Some other areas have.
Well, even our friend Anna that comes and works with us, I saw this morning like a transformer blew up 2 houses down from them, and they've lost power. And my parents have been without power. They're about 20 minutes or so away, but thankfully, yeah, we still got it.
Yeah, another friend of ours, they're without water and power, so thankfully they have reserved water that they got ready, and thankfully you did the same. That's one of the things that we try to always do is when we see a hurricane or strong storms approaching where there could be any potential for loss of power, we do have our power stations, and you normally get the water stocked up for us.
At least 2.5 gallons over there, and there's actually a local spring not too far from us, so even if we needed more drinking water, we could drive over there and get some from that too.
Yeah. So it's great to hear. I see a bunch of comments, and I really appreciate hearing from you guys and seeing like most of you are doing fine. There's some of you in the eastern North Carolina who I don't think probably are not experiencing much towards that. It's mostly western North Carolina and over is where the brunt of the storm is now. Thankfully for us, mostly the heavy rains. There's still some wind, but most of it, I keep looking outside, so I'm looking over and looking outside. The heavy winds have passed, but it's one of those things. When I think it was around 4:35 this morning, with us living in the Yurt, you can hear things more easier. So you can hear the wind outside and you can hear the heavy rain. So I knew when it was really starting to come in that well, I hope it's here now. So
and they were saying probably from about 4 o'clock in the morning until about 10 was going to be the worst for us.
Yep.
And honestly, like we've had stronger thunderstorms come through and drop more rain than what's dropped here. But like I said, not far away, they were talking about yesterday, they got 5 inches of rain just yesterday before even the heavy rain came through.
Yeah.
So the upper South Carolina, the North Carolina state line, they were getting hammered this morning.
And somebody's asking, let's see here, they were asking about the hollers. I just saw it.
Oh, I talked to Meg. She said their power's out, but they're doing good. The animals look good. They may have lost some trees in the woods, but so I have heard from them. And I talked to Billy and Michelle Bond this morning. They said they've had at least like 8 to 10 inches of rain, but they're doing good as well.
Yeah. So. But I would keep praying for those who are like in the Boone and the mountain areas,
Asheville,
because those areas are being hit with flooding like they've never had before. Yeah. So one of the things that I do whenever I'm hearing about the weather, because sometimes it's like the news will over-exaggerate what's going on, but I like to ask people in those areas, well, how's it really going? Well, it actually really is been tough for some of those in the mountain areas. So definitely keep them in your prayers for sure.
One of my friends that lives outside of Boone, she posted this morning that it was just her and her animals. So she went to a neighbor's house, and I think they had lost power, but they were, getting together. And that's a big part of like knowing your neighbors and everything too, and is coming together whenever something like this happens.
Yeah. A number of people will comment, like Susan and Miss Sherry, that they know about people in Florida who have dealt with some issues and had to be evacuated.
Yeah.
So some of our friends we're talking about, they didn't have to be evacuated, but they did have some big time winds come through.
Yeah. And our other friend, he posted pictures this morning, and he's had some damage. I think a tree uprooted and came over, and I think his chicken tractor totally flipped over. But I didn't see anything, unalived around. So hopefully they're all okay.
Yeah.
If he had chickens.
Yeah. Let's see.
I saw Matt from Moose Run. Hey, Matt. Hey. Samantha.
Yeah. So I'm assuming a lot of people who are tuning in either are off work. There has been pretty much all through our area school cancellation.
They canceled school yesterday.
And things like that. So I'm sure a number of you are probably experiencing that and just hanging out at home. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to go through the comments, make sure we kind of interact with everybody. And it's so good to hear that pretty much most of you are doing fine. There's people from East Tennessee, Alabama. How much of the storm has affected you all? I haven't really kept track of Alabama.
I think it hit Florida more and then came up that way.
Yeah.
And Mike is from the UK.
There we go.
Mike has been watching us a long time.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we see a lot of our...
He always checks in on us, too. Whenever he knows there's weather happening around our area, he always sends me a message on Instagram. So thanks for checking in again, Mike.
Yeah, and it's so good to see some of our longtime viewers like Patricia and Alan and Bonnie Guffey.
Yes.
Greetings to you guys. So good to see you guys tuning in, and hope everybody has been doing well. And Pepper in North Carolina, she's in Raleigh, saying they're all good there. And I think pretty much it's almost like Charlotte is like the edge, the big city, and then kind of anything east of Charlotte really.
Well, they were saying that it was coming up kind of that way too, a little bit over, but yeah, they were talking about some tornado warnings not far from Raleigh, I think, a while ago, but.
Yeah, and Dan on here, he's talking about Knoxville, Tennessee. I was wondering about how they were doing. He said just windy and wet, so hopefully it's not too bad. That's kind of
what it's been here. I think we were just like right on the outer edge where we missed the real heavy rain.
Yeah, it was really, really heavy rain and wind, probably like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But that was like the peak of it.
And then it would come in like waves. It would be wind, and then it would be calm, and then wind some more, and it did that for a couple hours. Yeah, and I'm
just thankful it didn't happen all through the night. I'm one of those people that all that wind kind of creates anxiety in me, so I'm glad it didn't happen all through the night.
You and Sayla too.
Yeah. So
Sevier County
and Gaba's down there in Georgia, no power. Oh, sorry to hear that.
I know.
Yeah, thankfully it's not like cold or anything, and hopefully nobody's going to have long-term power outages. Hopefully that power will be restored fairly quickly.
I was thinking that earlier. I was glad it's not cold.
Yeah,
because like wet and cold is the worst. That's when you really start losing animals.
Yeah. So definitely. Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see here.
Mississippi, Mimsey's Garden. And,
yeah, we've I'm trying to think what was there was some couple we've been through a couple hurricanes now that we have lived here in the Yurt.
yeah, a few.
And most of the damage has been like greenhouses and just debris just blown all over the place.
Well, actually, we've had more damage from thunderstorms than we have from hurricanes that get this far inland. Because we're not, I know a lot of people don't know exactly where we are. Like, we're not close to the coast. We're 4 hours from the coast.
Yeah.
And
we're not in the mountains either, so we're like 2.5 hours from the mountains.
So we're kind of in the middle bottom of the state.
Yeah, but we do have some pretty bad thunderstorms. They can be pretty rough.
Like when our greenhouse, like we just finished the caterpillar tunnel greenhouse out there, and actually that night it bent it all up. That was a thunderstorm, and like we can get some really gnarly straight line winds with thunderstorms. Yeah. But this like continuous wind, we hadn't had like super strong like continuous wind.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we hadn't done a live stream in quite some time, so we figured with the opportunity with the hurricane doing an update, just
and let you know that we're okay.
Opportunity to just kind of interact with you guys on the live stream again. I do apologize for my voice. A number of us in the family have been down with some colds or whatever the past couple of days, so we've recovered from that mostly. Sayla's down today with it, but the boys and I
think I'm the only one that hasn't gone down.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't. Yeah, don't get it. Yeah,
it's a little scratchy, but I'm okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's people from all over the place tuning in. Colorado, and then we're actually planning a trip to go out in Colorado.
Patty's was like real close to where it hit. I'm glad you're okay, Patty.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And Florida girl and
yeah.
So I'm just trying to read all the.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to definitely.
Ruth. 113 in Phoenix. Like, no, that's just
wow.
wrong for it to be almost October. Man, being that hot.
Ruth says it's 113 in Phoenix. That's wow. In almost October now. Wow.
That's crazy.
Hopefully a cooler temperature will come for
My favorite temperatures are like it used to be in the 50s, but I can handle like 45 to 75 with no humidity is about perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe you can push it to 80, but like what's y'all's perfect temperature? But that's mine. Like 45, to be snugly in the morning with coffee or tea or whatever, and then 75, maybe 80, and then it's just nice during the day. No humidity.
That's like a miracle day.
It is a miracle
for us to not have humidity.
That's been like the temperatures around here for the past week or so have been like 80 degrees as a high, but the low is like 70 degrees and the humidity is like 80%. So it doesn't feel cool. It just feels like soggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's my little. I got off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's totally related to the weather. We're talking about the weather. I feel like some kind of weathercaster here.
Let's see. Let's get on. We have more.
Yeah.
From Hot Springs.
Yeah,
Ken and Amy, how are y'all doing?
Yes.
Like, I know y'all have had a bunch of rain up there. And, somebody's like, that was for no reason.
Yeah, and guys, if you have any other questions while we're on here, feel free to ask anything you want to chat about. Feel free to let us know. We did have, let's see, it's almost been a month now since the Jamboree.
That's hard, and we haven't even done a video about it.
So they have to stay tuned for that. But the Jamboree was our first like real event that we put on. We put it on with the two other couples, the Bonds and the Ings, and it was just really in-depth, hands-on experience. People got to learn chicken butchering for the first time, and it was a good time. It's still hard to believe it's been that long now.
It doesn't feel like it's been almost a month since the Jamboree.
Wow. So we got a few more animals out there that will need to be butchered for the year's over with. We got chickens out there in the field. We'll be butchering some more of those. And then we have turkeys that we'll be doing for Thanksgiving. And that pretty much wraps up the year for us with harvesting animals. So it's hard to believe. Thanksgiving just right around the corner.
It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, where did September go? I want to know where that happened.
Yeah. So there we go. Pepper asked about the roads. I have not heard from the roads today. I'll have to check on
sent a
them.
message to Rebecca, but I have not heard, I don't know, unless it's been recent. I don't think I've heard anything back as of yet.
Yeah. So.
But, like, where they were was getting hit with a lot of wind and rain.
That's one of the things I like about this community. We reach out and check on each other and see how people are doing. So I definitely encourage everybody to do that. Have a community and connect with people. You never know when you might need one another, especially at times like this when you might lose power or something, and maybe you can help each other out. So we also have some other homesteaders that are friends of ours that are Cindy and Patrick are 10 minutes away, maybe
10 minutes from us.
So those are some of the ones that we can rely on too, and just nice to have that community and people to check on. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for those of you who reach out to us and check on us on occasions like this where we have storms and hurricanes. I'll even see comments and people checking on us from other countries. It's like, man, I hear you guys are having a storm or hurricane. How you doing? I really appreciate that. It means that love is that's just neat. It's encouraging. Yeah, that you guys are good people.
That's right. Good people. We try to be good people too.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So what else we want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to make sure we answer some of these questions here. People are tuning in. And we also came back from the fair not too long ago. We had our county fair. I plan to release the video tomorrow on that, but it was nice to run into some of you at the Sunday. Video will be released Sunday on the fair, but it was neat running into a number of you at the fair. People coming up to us, and that was just neat.
Which I will say. If you run into us, actually, I saw a lady yesterday, Mrs. Lee. I met her at the grocery store. She's like, I watch you on YouTube. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, I would rather people say I watch you on YouTube, because when I was at the fair and I was with one of my friends and somebody that is like local law enforcement or something, I was walking by and they were like, hey, is Mike around here? And I'm like, oh no. Do I know them or do I not know them? Because it doesn't, I can't recall their face. I don't think I know them, but I have to remember that, like, we put a lot of stuff out and,
Yeah, just come and say hey.
Hey, we watch you on YouTube and come and talk to us, because, like, we love talking to people.
Yeah. Also, I would say don't be one of those people that just kind of like just keep looking at us. It's kind of weird. Like, you'll see some people that are like looking at you, but they won't say anything. And it's like, oh, do
I ask if they know?
Why are they staring at me?
Do I want to say, do you watch me on YouTube and think that everybody watches me? Because that's not how I want to be. I don't know. Yeah. Just say, hey, we watch you on YouTube, and
Yeah.
Because we have actually, like, been to dinner somewhere in, like, locally, and someone saw us, but they didn't say anything because they didn't want to bother us.
Yeah.
And then they put in the comments on a video, oh, I saw you at the restaurant. And we're like,
yeah,
well, just come and say hey, because we like that.
Yeah, we're the kind of people, come on up to us. Yeah, there was another time where there was a couple. We were at dinner again.
Oh.
And there was a couple sitting there, and the wife was just staring at me. And I'm like, why is the wife staring at me? And then the dude, I was like, he looked pretty serious, and he's probably like, I don't think he watched our channel. And he was probably like, why is my wife staring at him? I was like, don't do that. Yeah, so don't do that one either.
But yeah, just come up and say hey. We like people to come and say hey.
Yeah.
And talk to people.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Somebody's bringing up Hurricane Hugo. I was actually, my family moved. I was born in Johnson City, Tennessee, and my family moved after the year after Hugo. But you were here during Hugo.
I was in the 3rd grade during Hurricane Hugo, and I remember. So growing up. I lived beside my mom's parents, and we were in a single wide trailer. So we actually were all in my grandparents' house, and they had like old windows. And I remember sitting in the living room. It was all dark outside, and you hear the pane of glass rattling in the window. And I remember my dad, we had like a mattress in the living room, and I remember my dad saying like, get up, and like he put the mattress up because we were afraid the windows were going to bust. And around this area, we were without power, or my family wasn't. Like, we got power the next day, but a lot of people, they didn't assign homework at school because a lot of people didn't have power. So, and our next door neighbors had these tall pine trees all in their front yard. And when you went outside, it looked like somebody had just taken them and snapped them off, laying around everywhere. And that was a lot of this area had tons of trees down and everything. And actually, there was this huge oak tree in our backyard, and it leveled it, and the root ball was like way up. And as kids, we were sad whenever they cut it up because we were playing on it and everything with it laying down. But yeah, I remember Hugo. It was this for like, right, it was nothing compared to what Hugo was back then. So, yeah.
Oh, and Mama Bird says she's in Florida and her husband finally made it home from work this morning. So
He got off at 11 last night.
Man, wow, sounds glad he made it home. That's I'm sure that was extremely stressful for you guys. Wow.
Oh, somebody said they were in England. Not there.
Okay.
In Bristol, England.
There we go. So neat to hear where everybody's from. Southern California, England, Indiana there, Canada. It's awesome. Colorado again.
I've seen several people from Virginia.
Okay. Oh, so she's asking, I think Barbara heard when I mentioned earlier that we're planning to go to Colorado. We're planning to go to Beaver Creek. So never been there before.
Beaver Creek, yeah. So, not far from Vail.
Yeah. And Mike, see? Good to hear from you. Let's see.
Mike, Texas. This is Mike. 20s to 60s. Oh, I saw Matt posted that. Matt or Samantha from Moose Run.
All righty. Oh. Also, people have been asking, I want to answer this question as well. People have been asking through different messages, are we going to Homesteaders of America? Regretfully, we're not going this year.
Yeah, not this year.
Love that conference, and just one of those years where we don't happen to be going. But who all is going to? Let me know. I'd love to hear.
I will say, somebody has reached out to me that they have 2 tickets to HOA, that they're in California. They're not going to be able to make it to HOA, and asking if I knew anybody. So if you need tickets, I know there's a lot of scammers out there, but I trust these people. So if you just by happen to need 2 tickets, send us an email, and I'll see if we can, get it all worked out.
Yeah.
So I just thought about that. Sorry, random.
No, that was fine. It was related to, I'd mentioned Homesteaders of America.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
You know how I am. It's like butterflies.
Yeah. Oh, just relate.
What? Yep.
No.
Yep. You're supposed to say no, honey.
I have my own butterfly.
That's not how it is. It's perfectly all right. Not, yep, that's how it is. That's how she is.
Butterflies. Also, people have asked about us doing the Jamboree again next year. As of right now, that is definitely something we definitely want to be a part of again. It was just neat getting the feedback from so many people who were a part of that, and they were empowered by it. So our goal with the event is to equip people with the skills, hands-on things that they could go the next day and be able to apply back home. So
are you going to tell them what we're thinking about?
No, I don't want to think about it yet. Yeah, we're still unofficial on a lot of these things, so we're just leaving it at that.
Okay.
So, yep.
We have to have a little time to decompress from the Jamboree to start thinking about the next one. Somebody asked if we had any damage. There was a tree out in the cow fence that fell over. Yep. Part of it fell over. We'll have to get it down. It's currently leaning on another tree.
Yep.
But I think it's stable enough that we don't have to worry about it today.
Yeah. We have a lot of new people that just started streaming in, so we just kind of do a little brief recap again. That the storm, the hurricane started. We started experiencing some of it this morning. I think somewhere around maybe 4 a.m. early mornings when I started hearing it. So it was just heavy rain and wind, and with living in the yurt, you can definitely hear it. There's parts you can see a little bit of canvas right back here. Some of that will kind of like get pushed down and flatten with the wind. So that's what was like.
Can get loud.
I was hearing around 5 or so this morning.
Yeah.
And then the wind just kept getting harder and the rain stronger. And I think it peaked around probably 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, but we've been doing fine. No damage to the yurt. No damage of significance that stands out to us on the property outside of trees and little things been blown around here and there. But other surrounding areas west of us, especially Charlotte, a lot of flooding in the areas where even.
And then further on from that, more flooding all the way up to the mountains, probably close to like the Tennessee line.
Yeah.
So.
But a lot of us that we've reached out to in the homesteading community, the Hollers are doing well, the Bonds are doing well, and others still waiting to hear back from Justin Rhodes. But mostly everybody is doing well. Some people are without power, but mostly everybody is doing well.
And then I heard from Sharon that we got the goat from last week.
Oh, South Carolina was hit harder.
Yeah, the upstate South Carolina, like the North Carolina, South Carolina state line got hit really hard. But she said they just had some rain and they were doing good.
Wow.
So.
And Florida Girl says during Hurricane Ian they were out of power for 9 days. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. Those kind of things that I think about it, we need to be preparing more and more for, because we've had more and more frequencies of hurricanes and things like that need to be prepared for more than a day. We're not there yet, but we need to be there.
Yeah.
Of being able to handle things like that.
Oh, Mason-Dixon North is on the Allegheny Mountains. Years back, they got by Hurricane Sandy. I remember when Sandy came through too.
Is Sandy the one that did a lot of damage on the coast for North Carolina? Sometimes they kind of just blur
they all
together
like blur together. Now the one that when you were coming back from California,
I remember that one.
That one flooded the coastal region of North Carolina because it was moving at 3 miles an hour. A hurricane dropping like crazy amounts of rain, moving 3 miles an hour was crazy.
Yeah, now, we were coming. Sayla and I were coming back home from
California,
San Francisco, flying from an event that we were at there. The plane ride was super smooth until we started to descend right in Charlotte. And man, it felt like the plane was doing this. And man, I was just getting sick.
Now, you should have, I was like all excited to see him because I had never been away from him for that long. And my dad and I went to go pick him up at the airport. And I was like, oh, they're going to be so excited. They looked green whenever they were coming down the escalators too.
I'd never want to fly through that again.
They were like, it was awful. It was terrible.
Man.
But, yeah. That's the one that destroyed our greenhouse, though. Harbor Freight greenhouse.
Yeah, we had a greenhouse kit that that particular hurricane back then just completely flipped it over and it was rolling all over the place. Yeah. But thankfully none of that this time.
Okay, so we covered that about the hollers.
Yeah.
And I heard about the Lake Lure dam, that it was coming over the top and they were managing the spillway as best they could, but Lake Lure is like, so if you think about it in a line, like this being the coast and this would be us, the hollers are next, and so the land with Jason and them, and then on further over is Justin and Rebecca, and then only further than that is Billy and Michelle. So like it's all from us over to Billy and Michelle is where all the flooding and stuff is going.
Yeah, that building that was, or the downtown Boone area, you remembered going through there and
well, Mass General Store is right there on the street, and they had like a street camera view in Boone and people driving through it. I mean, water was way high, and that sits on a hill, so it's like a lot of water. And even further down, that's like right down the street from App State, and they were saying that down at the bottom in the valley there is I don't know if that's a river or creek, whatever one it is, but they said it was really high. There was tons of flooding down there too. I'm curious to see what the new river's doing. I'm sure it's real high because that's my parents have a house that was my grandparents on the new, and when it floods, it can get really high. And they're gonna go check on that tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
They're supposed to.
Somebody's asking about our adding to our yurt and our other additions, and that is definitely yes. We definitely have plans to add to our yurt. We actually have a second yurt that we have bought. It's in storage. We've had it now for 2 years. The first year,
I was pregnant.
we had so much going on. Lacie was pregnant with Hezekiah. We didn't know. We were trying to figure out plans and everything that we wanted to do. So we were able to get it done then. And then this all of last year and part of this, most of this year, we just one, haven't had the funds at this time to do it, and we just kind of hit roadblock after roadblock with the project of getting it going. But it's definitely something we definitely want to do, plan to do. And
because we see your comments about y'all need more space, and believe me, living in it, I can tell you firsthand that I would like to have some more space.
Yeah, and it's one of those things we're not trying to take out. We're not going into major debt trying to do it. We're trying to just pay for it all and fund it all ourselves. So we're trying our best to not have debt. So that's another thing that's causing us not to have it set up yet. But the plan is we have a second yurt with this yurt, and then we're going to build a building that will connect them all with workable spaces, because we need more areas to work in and do all the different projects that we want to do. And honestly,
we need a recording space too, and like workspace for video stuff. And it takes a lot to do the videos and everything. I know if you're not into making videos, you don't really know about it, but there's lots of more stuff that we would like to do. But like whenever you have to set something up and do something, but then that space is also for something else, and you got to fold all that up and put it somewhere else to do this task. It's a lot of moving parts, and then you spend so much time starting and stopping things that it makes things very like dysfunctional.
That on top of other things that we want to do, like to expand a much larger kitchen space to be able to do some of the projects that we want to do with that, and to be able to have like workshop teachable spaces where we could teach like shows like classes on video as well. So the plans are there, but we just got to get the funding and resources to align with the plan. So that's just a little brief update on that, where we stand with that.
Somebody else from the UK, how's the new goat doing?
How is the new goat doing?
He's doing good. Okay. I was out there this morning. I saw him.
Okay.
I put one of our dogs with him yesterday. That was good until the fence fell over. He stayed in the fence. She didn't. She got out. But she's up in the pump house right now until we kindly get it all figured out later today.
I think we're hitting most people's questions.
He's doing good. And old Jamboree.
Someone's asking about who takes care of our homestead when we're away. Well, first of all, I try to create systems, or I have created systems to where we don't have to be super hands-on all the time with the animals. Bulk feeders, especially when we're gone, bulk feeders, bulk waterers. But in addition to that, especially since we've grown our farmstead and have other animals like the cow and some of the other goats, we have been blessed with Sarah and Anna, who is our farm helpers and friends that come help to do things and make sure the dogs are fed as well. So that's what we do for the most part. But I would say everybody needs to have at least their homestead set up in a way that they could be gone for at least a weekend and things just not completely just go away. Because there's been times where, like, I've had the flu or somebody's been sick. You need to be able to have system in place to where
you can just fill up a feeder and leave it.
The whole place just won't. The whole ship won't sink if you're down a day or two. So,
like whenever we go to Colorado, I want to be able to get a round bale of hay and just throw it in with the cows, and then like nobody has to even really worry about feeding them because they'll have a whole round bale that they won't go through in the time that we're gone.
Yeah.
So it's just being proactive, I think, about it is really what you have to do.
Yeah. I was glad when that question came up at the Jamboree and during the panel talk. People had a lot of good questions like that. So Yep. So you said there was another comment that stood out to you?
Oh, can't
Yeah.
remember.
We'll just be on here a few more minutes, guys, and
Yeah.
answer any questions you have. And
Oh, Chris is from Greensboro. They're having small trees down, lots of limbs, some flooding. I think that's about what everybody's seeing. You should check the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado Springs. Oh,
ooh, that sounds
cool.
That's a good suggestion on some places we should go.
Great sound effects, Lacie. It's okay, laugh at me. I can laugh at myself. I'm fine about that.
All right.
Western Piedmont.
What I do want to just glad to hear everybody's doing well and safe for the most part. If anybody needs anything, let us know too.
What?
Yeah. So, what you got?
Tony in Azerbaijan. That is so cool.
Wow. It's always neat to hear all these neat places people are. Wow.
It is. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. So Moose Run Coffee, Matt and Samantha moved onto their property.
Oh, congratulations, guys.
I know. They've been like working on that hard. They don't have electric set up yet, but we do have generators, so they've been living off grid.
Okay, you got to tell everybody who Matt and Moose Run Coffee is. I know some people have seen in the videos, but not everybody sees every video. So we got to keep that in mind.
About them a lot. So Moose Run Coffee, they have the best coffee, I think, in my opinion, and it's organic too. So I love all their coffee, and they're this sweet family, and they're out in Missouri. So if you want coffee, you have to get your coffee from Moose Run Coffee. And I have a surprise coming soon. I'm not telling you about it right now, but with us and Moose Run. So we have some good news coming soon that you'll have to stay tuned for in another video.
And Moose Run is, and Matt is such a good guy and good. We really appreciate them and their family. But they even served coffee the whole time at the Jamboree, and that was really kind of them to be able to do that and get everybody coffee and get
free
them going
coffee.
in the
morning. So everybody had free coffee thanks to Matt at Moose Run. We were sad his whole family couldn't come, but next time, everybody's going to be there and we'll all be together.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. Let's see what else.
Jamaica. There we go. I've been to Jamaica before. We have.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Been to Jamaica. That was an interesting trip.
Let's see here.
Town
of Marshall was flooded.
Also, we need to check on Allison Farm Connection. They're in
Ken and Amy, thanks for letting us know about that.
Yeah. Wow. I hadn't sent her a message. I meant to do that this morning.
Oh, another question here. I like how they capitalize question party.
It's just like boom.
Okay, that's the one.
Oh, that was the same one. When you're building the Yurt too, whatever that.
Alrighty.
I haven't talked to Jason and Lorraine.
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
Let's see if I can check it out right now while you're telling them who all you have checked on.
So I checked on the haulers, and they're doing. The sun's coming out.
Wow.
What? Okay. Now it's just going to be even more humid, but that's okay. So I checked on Billy and Michelle Bond. They're doing good. The haulers don't have power, but they're doing good. I've sent a message to Rebecca Rhodes. I haven't heard back from her.
They're probably recording or something right
Probably. Who else? Sharon that we got the goat from. I contacted her. She's doing okay. Who else am I missing?
Yeah. I think we mostly got everybody.
And then just some of our friends.
Yeah, that people don't know on here.
No, yeah. Yeah, Roots and Refuge. I saw Jess post some pictures. They said they're doing good. They have a tree down and all. Oh, you're looking great, hurricane or not. Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah. Christina asked about our goat fence, where we got it from. All of the fencing that I've gotten is from Premier One that I'm going to recommend. Yeah. There's other fencing that I've gotten before that have just fallen apart. Don't recommend them. But Premier One is where I get all of our fencing and our energizers to power our electric netting. Okay.
Mama Moose says we have a pond now and want ducks. Any suggestions?
Ooh. Well, first I'd want to know why you want to raise ducks. Is it just to have them on the pond, Or is it because there's going to be like a multi-purpose for them on the
And
pond?
do you want to hear them? That's another one. If you want to hear them and you want eggs, Khaki Campbells are the way to go, because Khaki Campbell, you'll know that they're there because they're so loud.
Yeah, but if you want something quieter and something that's good to eat, Muscovies, I recommend them.
Because they get big.
Yeah.
And all they do is like hiss and make this other little noise.
Yeah, and they're good survivors. Just like if you're gonna just let them out, I don't recommend totally letting them out all night too, because predators will gradually start picking them off. At least have an area for them to come back to at night. But if you're not gonna do that, definitely Muscovies then.
Yes.
Definitely for sure.
Oh, Anthony, that's in Azerbaijan. He lived in a yurt when he worked in Kazakhstan.
That's cool. Check the comments for another yurt dweller. That's cool.
I know. And amazing time with people, horses, and camels. And yes, I drank camel milk.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow. That is so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Nora likes Azerbaijan. She's watched videos about it. We like watching videos about other countries and places.
Yeah.
And there's actually a really good one we like to watch about the U.S. called Aerial America. And it gives you history of the states and everything. And we let our kids make our kids watch it sometimes as part of history and all.
Especially if there's a state.
But they actually like to watch it. Josiah's giving me the eye right now about it, but he actually does like to watch it.
Especially if we're going to a state for the first time, it's neat for the kind of get an overview of the state before we. It's an older series now, but it is pretty neat. But
it is.
That's some of the videos that I actually will watch on YouTube. Is places I live vicariously through some of these people who travel all the time.
Oh, have I seen the super chat? No, I have not seen the super chat. I don't know.
That would be on the YouTube side of it, probably the super chat.
I don't know.
Yeah. So we basically have two computers that we're working from here. We have one where we're doing the StreamYard, and then we have another one
gave us
$100 where we have the YouTube set up, and she can check on there. So little juggling act.
Thank you.
Yes.
For the
big thanks for the super chat
donation. Grocery garden.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. That's a blessing.
It's a huge blessing. Yes. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, eggs and meat mostly.
Is that the one about the ducks?
Yeah.
Eggs and meat mostly. Oh, if you're going to eggs and meat, might want to go 2 ducks. No, if you're going to do, I would still probably say Muscovies or Pekin if you're looking for just one breed. Mostly eggs?
Eggs and meat, mostly eggs. Then I would have 2 different breeds. I would do the Muscovies or the Pekins for meat.
I would say Muscovies and Welsh Harlequin.
Oh, really?
Yep, for the eggs.
Okay.
Because the Welsh are not as loud as the khakis. That would be my suggestion.
Oh, Audrey, Parks in West Virginia, rain, emergency flooding. So y'all are getting it now. Like it's moved on out of here, I think. So, the videos from Azerbaijan are food processing and farm animals. Beautiful filming.
Oh, you got to send us the link for that now.
I know, right? I agree. Like we when we go somewhere, we haven't traveled out of the U.S. in a while, but whenever we go places, we want to know what it's really like. Not the touristy kind of stuff, which that's fun sometimes. But when we went to Costa Rica, and then we actually went to an organic coffee farm, and then he drove us. I was like, this is out of my comfort zone for real. Using Google Maps in the back country of Costa Rica is not on my top of my list of things that I was like, yeah, let's go do it.
Yep, I'm looking up places
neither one of us speaks Spanish.
I'm like, oh man, there's this cool ranch where they're doing some permaculture stuff here in Costa Rica. We got to go see it.
And at one part, and so we have 3 kids in the back seat, and we're driving on this road, if you can call it a road in some places. Some places it was great and flat and graded and it was dirt and it was fine. But there was other places where we just started laughing because the potholes were so close together that it was like, ka-choo, 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 ka-choo. And you couldn't get around them at all.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just laughing hysterically, partly because you're like scared to death that you're.
I don't know if you were laughing. Maybe you laughed afterwards.
Maybe afterwards.
We were just kind of.
No, not there. No, that was when we were on. Had gone up this mountain, and this is wide road. I mean, this was after the bumpy part, and it's wider, and then it keeps getting narrower and narrower, and then I'm here looking out the passenger window, and I'm like, can you please slide over some more, because it's like a straight down drop with no guardrails or anything.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the Rancho Mastatal, they're like, which way did you come in? And we told them, and they're like, oh, y'all came that way.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if you'd have come the other way, it's like a nice drive all the way up into the mountains. And I'm just like, thanks. That would have been nice to know like a couple hours earlier.
Yeah, they didn't tell me that.
But we left that way, and it was a nice drive down. You're like riding on top of the ridge, and then you go down the mountain, and yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, that was a
that's
tangent.
way different than
Sorry.
the hurricane.
Sorry. It's okay. But we did get to go like see real things, how people did things.
Yeah.
Like there.
Yep.
And not just touristy stuff. So sometimes I guess I gotta push my boundaries to go to those places. But I like it. So.
I'm a do stuff kind of guy. Not a kickback. Like look for the adventure.
Oh, there's my mom.
Yes.
Martha.
Oh, you forgot to mention that your parents. Did you mention that earlier?
I did.
Oh,
I said their power was out, but her power is now back on.
Yeah. She's in the text.
Glad to hear it, Mom.
Mother-in-law Martha just let us know that her power's back on. So thankfully, yeah. She was making me nervous this morning, though.
I know. She was like, I'm going to go to do my normal thing. And I'm like, no, I think you should stay at home.
That's when it was still windy and
I know.
Still raining. It's calmed down tremendously now. It looks more normal.
But like the trees that were knocked down that trapped her in her house on the road, we were like, whew. But she got out. She still went and did it. It was just a little later.
She's resilient.
She is resilient. That's where I get it from, I guess.
Oh.
Her and Dad.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We just wanted to give everybody a little bit of update on how we're doing. And we still haven't heard from some of the others, but we let you know who all we have heard from. And glad to hear that you all are doing fine. And I hope for those that are still, some of you without power, will have that back on soon. But I can see a number of people keep saying that power's back on and things like that, just like Martha. But thank you guys. Thank you for continuing to support the channel and support us and the things we're doing. We really appreciate it. And thank you for watching the videos and signing up to get notifications and commenting. And we really appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
We do.
Yeah.
And we like talking with you guys. So please.
Yeah.
If you ever see us out in the wild.
I like that, out in the wild.
Please come up and say hey.
There
we
he
really
is
do.
in his natural habitation. Alrighty. All right. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday and great weekend. Take care, guys.
Bye.
See you next time.